they are suddenly looking like one of the favorites in the T20 World Cup. Knocked off Bangladesh after that disappointing result of rain once again messing with the plans of Proteas at a World Cup, and then the big scalp of India. So should we believe, Jack? Should we believe? Can the Proteas win the T20 World Cup?
I think this is a good start. We should believe, but first of all, I need to say it now this week as well, Tantona. I am firmly on your side. Themba, when things are going right, Themba is just a spanner. Okay, it wasn't a spanner in the works because we still got over the line, but man, Donna, I took a screenshot. Like, I'm a stats guy, Themba. I'll tell you, like, in the last 10 innings, Themba Reza should be playing. His last 8 innings, 8 from 10 balls. This is T20, mind you. 8 from 11 balls. Duck for 4, 0, 4 balls, 0, 7 balls, 3, 8 balls, a runner ball 2, 2 runs, 6 balls, 10 runs, 15 balls. That's Bambezelo Themba. And I mean, the only thing that works in his favor is that our bowlers are turning it on right now. If you're chasing, if you're limiting Bangladesh to 90 odd, if you're chasing 135 to win, at least, But when the stakes go up and you have to chase 160, when you're going close to 200, Themba's not the guy. He's struggling. And I mean, if we're fair and we're honest, this particular game, the bowlers on both sides did particularly well. It was hard to get the ball away. So if Themba's the one who's struggling to get the ball away, yet someone else will take risks, because you see them scoop shots that went for 6, and then the one that goes out, like, hey, Themba,
Chuck,
you're not even really confident with what you're doing right now.
The reason I'm laughing is because the way he got out, when he tried that, I was like, where have you seen this before? Like, when have you ever tried this? Like, this is not your game at all. And those are the things that now where he's feeling the pressure,
it's on him.
Where he hits a 6 over the keeper's head, and then he tries to go for a scoop shot. He's not a 360 player.
Nah.
And when he's trying these things, it says to everyone that he's scratching around and looking for something. And unfortunately, it just keeps not working out. And as I said, man, I don't want to keep piling on Themba, and it would be a courtesy and a kindness to him to yank him from the team, where we don't have to have these conversations continuously after yet another disappointing innings from him.
Because if it was Makram, maybe, Riza Hendricks or Klaassen, you want them to have a bit of game time. You know, about fights when it's crunch time against Australia, you're like, okay, go play. You want them to at least, or give them a dead rubber game like Netherlands, which is coming up. Give them a competitive game in the group stages so that when it is time for the knockouts, they are ready. I mean, of the top 5, Quinton has a half century, Russell has got a century, Malcolm's a century, well, is Miller top 5? We had 6.
Miller also has a century recently against India, in India.
And a half century now. Themba, nothing. In three. Okay, we can't count the Zimbabwe because it was rained out. But that
nothing
just shows,
in the last 10 games, as you pointed out for us, Shaq.
So I mean, even to add to that, he was injured. He was sick at some point. There was just generally, even before those things, a loss of form. Like, why persist with Themba?
And then when he was out, Reza came in, averaged 60 at 142 strike rate in England against England. And this is the guy who can't get a game.
You know what? Now, if we're seeing the signs early, let's not do that thing where Skipper Ebert sits in Ghana Philander. We know who's performing. Let's meritoriously, if that is even a word, sounds right to me. Fago Hendricks or Fago Klaassen, Themba will come in when we need an emergency, and he'll be captain for fantastic. But if when things are all well and fine and the people are fit, let's do the right thing.
Listen, he can come in that final to lift that trophy. I will sign up for that. I want to see Themba lifting that trophy above his head, because he's here and entrenched as the captain, and that would be one of his roles.
Yeah.
But in terms of player personnel, he is the weak link in that team, in that batting lineup.